Reading those retrospectively was really an interesting experience because I saw an evolution in the media that really has kind of relevance today.
How did this guy end up giving a speech at the Clinton Library in Little Rock, Arkansas? A ne'er-do-well who seemed destined for nowhere. A small-town radio announcer and newsman who became an award-winning television muckraker with his picture on the cover of a major journalism magazine, and even on the cover of a how-to book about investigative reporting.
John Camp, this is your life.
It's a story of how men use and are themselves used by organized crime.
Miami.
More as the big news continues.
Boston.
We have uncovered the unauthorized use of the names of several prominent Boston businessmen.
Louisiana.
Why was he alone, unguarded, and on a predictable time schedule in this halfway house parking lot in Baton Rouge?
Liechtenstein.
But billions missing.
John liked to meet interview subjects in parking lots.
What kind of questions you want to ask?
Well, basically, number one, we want to know how the ministry's doing at this point, 10 years later.
Well, it could always do better.
Are you familiar with the term they've used, Huey's harem, that they referred to?
No, I'm not familiar with that. I never heard that.
And he liked to use lawn chairs to make people feel comfortable.
Not millions, but billions missing. All this kept secret. All this kept secret. We'll get it.
The nation's insurance commissioners never liked John, perhaps because he crashed their parties.
A lavish reception where television cameras were not welcome. Why can't we shoot the...
Well, I asked for a couple of things here. Hey, could you turn that off?
But they always had the right answer for John's tough questions.
Don't you think it's strange that a third-year student at LSU would loan $45,000 to the campaign and you don't even know him?
No. This is Louisiana.
Not millions, but billions missing. All of this kept secret by the bank. Almost had it.
I was ready to move the...
John enjoyed talking faith and funds with men of the cloth.
I'll ask you the question I asked last time. What is your salary?
I'm about to make it public. In fact, today, in the board meeting today, that'll be one of the main things discussed.
The last time you said it was less than $1 million, more than $500,000.
It hasn't changed.
3 weeks later, Benny Hinn's salary has still not been made public.
You can buy your roses, but they're gonna wilt before you'll dance on my grave.
Weren't you the least bit suspicious when they started bringing in $10,000 in cash to renew that option?
No. I don't know how they brought it in. You'll have to see Mr. Fuller. He's the chairman of the board. He dealt with him totally and completely.
Not millions, but billions missing. All of this kept secret by the bank in a cover-up that cut...
John has tried some new careers, such as relationship counselor.
He knew that I liked to drink Heineken, and he would say, I'll have a cold Heineken in the room for you. And I would tell him, Huey, I'm not coming. And the next morning, I would walk into work, and he'd walk by me and brush me and say, your Heineken got hot last night.
Do you remember the phrase, I have a Heineken's waiting for you in my room?
Nope, I sure do not.
Because she has testified that this occurred regularly.
Well, that's not true. I mean, not regularly, no.
And he trained for the drug smuggling business with his friend Barry.
I received a sum of $10,000 today in cash in $100 bills. Payment received in payback of a loan that I made to a DEA operative who's working in this covert operation at this time.
But he thinks his talents could best be used at night, on the streets.
As I explained to him, as long as you're on the sidewalk, nothing I can do.
That's billions, not millions. Not millions, but billions.
True, there are those who wish they had never met Camp.
Staff were making contributions to Sherman Bernard and wrote a memorandum and asked them to stop.
But that memorandum was written 2 days after the election.
2 days after the election?
Your handwritten note to stop making campaign contributions to Sherman Bernard. It was 2 days after he had been beaten.
After Bernard had been beaten?
At the polls.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
A lot of people are saying Purdy Sisson's a con man.
Well, of course, that would be the first thing that would come to mind, probably.
He had been hired to run DECOM's operation in Bunker. What are the qualifications of Dan Patterson to be an executive in a company such as DECOM?
Well, Dan Patterson is really a builder.
Some still get sick at just the mention of John's name.
Reported by John Camp.
Now, is this sort of the kind of award that everyone who's on the show wants? See if we can get a shot of it.
Not millions, but billions.
As he moves into the life of leisure, John has a number of hobbies and interests to keep him busy. He'll have more time for his rubber stamp collection.
There were hundreds of stamps representing different companies. Here's American Druggist Insurance Company, Pet Met Health Foundation, Louisiana American Insurance Company, Louisiana Bonding and Insurance Company, the U.S. Treasury Department, the U.S. Customs Service.
He'll be able to tune in more often to his favorite radio personality, Chuck Harder.
They've been playing games, war games, essentially against us, and I think, ladies and gentlemen, that is frightening.
By God, let's see if we can get one across the water here.
Fortunately, he is his own handicap at his greatest passion.
Take 166.
Not millions, but billions missing. All of this kept secret by the bank, leaving other people to pay the price for years as I ad-libbed this close with all sorts of extreme.
Even my old nemesis, John Camp.
John, Reverend Swaggart probably sums up best how we all feel.
And I love you, John. And in spite of our differences, I think you're one of the finest investigative reporters in the world, and I mean that.